Hi everyone, here is AhkTaar and welcome back on my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about the smart casting. This is a guide to help new players getting okay with the smart casting, because I know that a lot of people doesn't know clearly how to use it. So I'm going to talk about it during this video and show some examples. So for now I'm going to try Marius 28 without any smart casting, and you are going to see the difference. So here, as you can see on the top left corner, this icon, the presets lineup, is blue at the moment. If I click deselect one hero and put him back, then the icon is black. That means I have no setup on my team, and so they are not gonna use their skills, the skills I set up right here in my teams. So let's have a look to how it is gonna work. So basically I won't be able to clear this dungeon, because as you can see my heroes are all using all their skills, but I didn't need to use all my skills in order to pass the first wave. Okay, with only some DPS ones I should have been able to beat the first wave, and now my heroes are dying, which is pretty annoying, because now with what I have on my team, for sure I won't be able to beat the boss. And I already lost one hero. So this is the boss wave, but I have no buff anymore, so my heroes are gonna die. I lost my Catherine, and now it's just a matter of time. I lost my last support, and now my 2 DPS. So it is really bad. So let's jump into the smart casting and see how it works. So here you just have to click on this icon. You have your different lineups right here. As you can see, you can click to change the lineup if you already have saved one. You can click on this icon to the left in order to jump into the smart casting, and you can save up another one. So let me delete one. This is my green. I'm gonna remove this one. So if you switch this button right here, as you can see, you can edit your teams. So for example, if I click on the trash here, I can remove this team, and with the heroes I selected here, if I click on save, I can have my lineup here. But at the moment it is black. This icon is black because there is no smart casting on it. So first of all, you can click on edit and on this icon in order to set a name to your team. It's nice to recognize the team you want to use. For example, we are gonna call this one Ninja Test, Marius Test. Marius Test. Okay, so I changed it. And now just click on this icon and you have access to this interface, on which you can set up the order of skills you want to use on your heroes per wave. And this is really important, because as you saw on the first wave, my heroes were able, my 2 DPS were able to kill enemies without the need of defensive buffs on my heroes. So for the first wave I just want to kill enemies and keep my buffs for the second wave in order to sustain on this one. So what I am gonna do, first of all, you can change the order of your skills when you left click on these icons right here, and you have different kind of orders here. For example, if you click on this one, you just have to select one of the skills you want to modify, and then you have access to this little window and you can put the order on the skill. So for example, here I clicked on the basic attack and I want my hero to use the basic attack as the first action during the battle. If there is this icon on a wave, on a skill, your hero will use this skill first during the wave. It is really important. You can make a specific combo with this one on a skill. For example, if I click on this skill, I don't want her to use this skill during the wave, so I'm gonna ban it. Then she is not gonna use it during the battle, the wave. If I jump into the second wave, as you can see here, it's not the same parameter. So if also you add this on this skill, that means at the beginning of the wave she is gonna use this skill, but then this skill is gonna be banned. That means she won't use it anymore during the wave. It is really important. For example, if I do this on her and if I want to block this skill, then she's gonna use only this one at the beginning of the wave, so my heroes are gonna have the consolidation 2 on them, and then she is gonna keep the ultimate, the shield and the counter attack for the next wave, and this is really important. So I can cleave the wave with my DPS and I will still be able to get my buffs for next waves. So here then let's have a look to my first DPS. Quinlan is the hero in my team that deals the most amount of damage on the first wave. So I want to tell him to use this skill as the first action of the wave, but I don't want him to use it again. So if the wave takes a long time to finish, to end, then maybe if he plays 3 or 4 turns, he will get this cooldown back for the next wave. This is really important. And also I don't want him to use this skill right here. Then on my Hezonja, I don't want him to use any skills because you are gonna see that my Quinlan with these, the exclusives and the ultimate right here deals already a lot of damage. Enough damage to clear the wave, because I have also Nicholas who passively increase my damage, and Pauline who is gonna use this skill only one time at the beginning of the fight of the first wave, so he will increase the HP max of my heroes by 50%, and so they are gonna deal more HP burning damage, and this is important on this dungeon. And I want to block this skill because I don't need it. Enemies are gonna die with my AoE damage, and so I can keep my defensive buffs for the next wave. I just want to use this one just in case I don't kill enemies, so I'm gonna have a shield on my heroes, and also I'm gonna have the consolidation 2 of Catherine. Okay, this is it for the first wave. If you want to use the same preset for all the waves, you just have to check this checkbox right here, and so your heroes are gonna use the same preset on all waves. You set for this one, but I don't want this. So with Catherine on the second wave, now I want to block everything. On Quinlan it's the same, I want to block everything. On Hezonja I want to ban this one and to tell him to use only one time his ultimate in order to kill enemies. And Pauline I don't want to use any skill, so I will get my cooldowns normally for the last wave. So on the last wave I want my Catherine to use in priority the first ability, this one, and then this one. That means when I'm gonna have my cooldowns on both skills, she is gonna prioritize the one with the number 1 here, and then she's gonna do the one with the second priority here. Some heroes doesn't have any passive, they have maybe 3 active abilities, and so it matters to use the third one here. But it's not the case for her. So this is what I want to use on her, prioritize the consolidation and then the shield and the counter attack. On Quinlan I want him to use this one first and then this one. On Hezonja I want him to use this one first and then the second ability right here. On Pauline I want the same, I want to use the ultimate and then the first ability. And same for my Nicholas. Now I click on save. And I just can go back here, and let me run the fight now to see what happens. Okay, so this is the first wave. I'm just gonna use the consolidation and the HP max on my heroes. Now enemies are frozen and took a lot of damage, and now I play one more turn with all my heroes so I can get some cooldowns back. Now this is the second wave. My Hezonja is gonna do one time his ultimate and all enemies are dead, and now I have my cooldowns on Catherine so I can shield my heroes and apply the consolidation and counter attack. I can also freeze enemies thanks to the ultimate of Nicholas, and I have my cooldowns now so I can sustain and try to beat the boss. And the smart casting is really important, and not only in dungeon, but it's something really important in every content in the game, especially in PvP. I'm gonna show you that right after, because the interface in some arena content is a bit different from dungeon ones. So it's taking a bit of time, but it's okay. Here, just to explain my team, I am using Pauline in order to cleanse my heroes and to increase the maximum HP of my HP burners, so they deal more HP burning damage. I'm using also Nicholas in order to apply an extra shield, lower the resistance of the boss, and lower his speed by 40%. And this is pretty all with him, and Catherine in order to apply the shield, consolidation, and the counter attack, and my 2 DPS to deal damage on the boss. Okay, this is not a great piece of gear. So now let's have a look to the arena. So if you go on the classic arena right here, then you have two things. You have your defense. If you click on defense right here, as you can see here, this icon is the smart casting icon. At the moment it is black. That means my heroes are not going to use what I want, because Nazil is going to use his ultimate, but I want him to use the first ability in order to freeze enemies. And my Ben Austin is gonna use the first ability in order to increase enemies cooldown and lower their turn meta, but I want him to use the ultimate instead. So I click on this icon and I'm gonna set it up for all my heroes. There is only one wave because it's for arena, so I want him to use this and never use this skill. I want him only to make my Lucifer pursue the targets. Then on my Pauline, I want him to cleanse and buff my heroes first, and my Nazil to freeze enemies first. Otherwise, he is gonna use this skill if you don't set up the smart casting, and Ben Austin is gonna use this skill too. And I don't want him to use it, so I'm gonna block it. And my Lucifer, I want him to use the ultimate first and the second ability then. Then you click on save and it's okay. So this is it for, you also have to click on save right here, sorry. Now the lineup is set, and then you have your attack lineup. So you have to go here, click on challenge, and then you have the same interface as you have on PvE. You just click on this icon and you select your team. For example, I have this one settled for my arena, and if I click here, as you can see, I have the same I told you on my Ben Austin and on my Nazil. So this is really important. Then you have your advanced arena, and it's a bit different now because you have the same. You click on defense and now you have 3 teams with 3 different smart casting. You have to do the same right here. For example, here I want my Elic to use the first ability before the ultimate, and if you don't set up the smart casting, he's gonna use this ultimate instead of this skill right here. So this is why I want to set it for all my teams. On my Nicholas, sometimes you want to control enemies or to apply the shield first. It depends on what you are using. And so I told all my heroes to use a specific order for the skills. If I jump here also, for your Sinov, you can choose to use the second ability in order to increase the turn meter of your allies instead of using this AoE to lower the turn meter of enemies and also their speed. So it really depends on what you want. Maybe for AhkTaar you want to control enemies first and then to lower the defense and the tenacity. It's up to you. And yeah, this is pretty all I wanted to say about this. So that was all for the defense advanced arena. And if I click on a battle here, you have the same interface here almost. You have some flags, and this is the icons of smart casting. They are a bit different, but still, because the flag is a lineup you can save, and the controller is a direct smart casting. You have to set it up right here. You cannot pick a team you saved. So let me go back here, and now you have to click on the flag, and as you can see, it is blue. That means I selected a team from my lineups here. I have 3 lineups for the arena, as you can see, Advanced Arena 1, 2, and 3, and yeah, you have to put your smart casting here. And when it is blue, that means you have a smart casting for this lineup, and here that means I have 2 teams with a smart casting, but this one doesn't have any, so I'm gonna change it right here. I click on change, and now I have all the flags blue, and this is really important. And you have the same mechanic for the guild arena, but I can't show it to you because at the moment we already are in battle. Normally, when you first set up your teams, you have access to an interface on which you can have exactly the same as your defense right here. You have this interface with the controllers, and so you can set up the smart casting of your heroes. This is really important. You can also use some smart casting in Faction Abyss, in Emblem Challenge, in Brave Trial, Dragon Cliff, Space Temples, Tower of Mark, and also on the guild boss. And this is really important on the guild boss. For example, here on the guild boss level 5 or 6, if I show you, here I'm using a smart casting, and it is because I want my Catherine to use first the basic attack and then the consolidation and the shield. So my heroes are gonna have the counter attack and the consolidation when the boss is gonna use his ultimate, and this is really important so my heroes can counter attack and survive. This is really important. And here with my Lucifer, for example, I want him to prioritize the second ability so he stays stealth longer during the fight and he can deal more damage. And on my little caster, I don't want him to use controls on the boss because he cannot be controlled, and so I'm only using the ultimate and the basic attack. And same for Megan, ultimate and basic attack, because my caster already applied defense down and tenacity down. And my Benostin, I also banned the second ability, the first ability here, because I don't want him to increase the cooldown on the boss. It doesn't work. So that was all for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's the case, as usual, please like, comment, and subscribe, and then see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Infinite Magicraid. Play to slay.